Okay, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We've all fallen for that product
Yeah.
that looked amazing in the ads,
Oh, yeah.
only to discover it's a total dud.
Right.
Every day we're bombarded with new gadgets and gizmos,
Mm-hmm.
all claiming to be the best or the most innovative.
Yeah.
But how can we as savvy consumers actually figure out
Right.
what's worth our hard-earned cash?
It's a minefield out there.
It is.
But you know what?
What?
You don't have to be a design guru
Okay.
to make smart choices.
I like that. That's what we're diving into today. We're talking about product design evaluation, those insider tricks that help you separate the gems from the junk.
We're going to equip you with not one,
Okay.
not two,
Huh?
but FOUR powerful methods
Hmm.
to assess any product like a seasoned pro.
Okay.
And trust me,
And listening.
you'll be surprised how much this can level up your buying game.
I love it. So first up, and this might seem obvious, we're tackling the art of comparing products to their rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, anyone can glance at two phones and see which has more megapixels, but we're going deeper than that.
Exactly. Think of it like this.
Okay.
You're a detective investigating a case. You're not just looking at surface-level clues. You're digging for hidden evidence. Let's say you're a gamer looking for a new console. You compare it to other consoles on the market, sure. But instead of just listing features, you'd analyze how those features actually translate into a better gaming experience.
So instead of just saying console A has better graphics, I'd think about how those graphics make the games more immersive or realistic.
Precisely. You'd also consider factors like the game library,
Okay.
online services, and even the controller design, how those elements work together to create a superior gaming experience. It's about understanding the nuances,
Right.
the subtle differences that make one product a better fit for your needs.
So it's not just about comparing specs on paper. It's about understanding how those specs translate into real-world benefits. Okay, I'm already starting to see how this goes beyond just reading a spec sheet.
Absolutely. And this approach can be applied to anything,
Oh, wow.
from choosing a new coffee maker
Okay,
to selecting the right software for your business.
you're right. And I bet it helps you avoid those buyer's remorse moments where you realize the product isn't quite what you expected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on,
Great.
let's get even more strategic. Imagine you're comparing two popular smartwatches.
Okay.
Maybe the latest models from two big brands.
Uh-huh.
You could create a feature matrix,
Okay.
listing everything from battery life and health tracking to app selection and design aesthetics.
Ooh, a feature matrix. I like that. It's like having a side-by-side comparison to see which product comes out on top.
Yeah,
But how do we know which features are most important?
that's where the real detective work comes in. You need to prioritize based on your individual needs and preferences. Are you a fitness enthusiast who prioritizes accurate health data?
Yeah,
Or are you more focused on style and app integration?
right.
Once you know what matters most to you,
Mm-hmm.
you can weigh those features accordingly.
This is brilliant. I'm already feeling like a more empowered shopper.
And that's just the beginning. Our next method takes us right into the minds of real users.
You're talking about user trials, right?
Hmm.
I've always wondered how those work. I mean, I've seen those funny videos of people testing out gadgets and things going hilariously wrong.
Yeah.
But are they really that valuable?
Oh, they're incredibly valuable. In fact, they're often the key to uncovering hidden flaws and unlocking a product's true potential. Think of it like this. You've spent months designing a new app.
Yeah.
You think it's perfect,
Uh-huh.
but how can you be sure?
I guess you wouldn't really know until real people start using it in their everyday lives. You might find out that what seems intuitive to you is totally confusing to everyone else.
Exactly. And that's where user trials come in. They give designers a chance to observe how people actually interact with a product.
Mm.
The good, the bad, and the downright frustrating. There are different types of user trials.
Okay.
In-person testing allows for direct observation,
Mm-hmm.
where you can watch people use the product
Right.
and ask them questions in real time. Then there's remote testing,
Okay.
where people try out the product in their own environments,
Right.
which can be great for getting a wider range of feedback.
But isn't there a risk that people won't be as honest or detailed in their feedback if they're not face-to-face with the researchers?
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
That's why it's crucial to design the remote testing process carefully. You need to provide clear instructions,
Mm-hmm.
Ask the right questions,
Yeah.
and maybe even use screen recording or other tools to capture the user's experience.
So it's all about adapting the method to fit the context and ensuring you're getting the most valuable insights possible.
Exactly. Now let's talk about a specific type of user trial,
Okay.
A/B testing. This method is all about comparing two different versions of a product to see which one performs better.
Oh, I've heard of that. Like testing two different website designs to see which one gets more clicks or conversions, right?
Precisely. Imagine you're an e-commerce company. You want to find out if changing the color of your Buy Now button from blue to green will increase sales.
Okay.
A/B testing lets you show version A, blue button, to one group of users and version B, green button, to another group.
Mm-hmm.
Then track the results to see which button leads to more purchases.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. It's like running a mini experiment to see what resonates best with users. It's fascinating how much data and insights you can gather just by observing how people interact with a product.
Absolutely. User trials are a goldmine of information,
Yeah.
but they're just one piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Our next method is all about getting down to the nitty-gritty details,
Okay.
the specifications that reveal a product's true capabilities.
This sounds like it could get a bit technical. Are we going to need our engineering degrees for this one?
Not at all.
Okay, good.
While specifications might seem intimidating, they're really just a way of understanding what a product is made of and how it's supposed to perform. Think about it like buying furniture online. You found the perfect sofa,
Yeah.
but when it arrives,
Oh, no.
it's way too big for your living room.
Oh, I've been there. I once ordered a bookshelf online,
Oh no.
and it turned out to be twice as tall as my ceiling. Checking the dimensions is definitely crucial.
Exactly. Checking specifications isn't just about avoiding furniture fiascos.
Okay.
It's crucial for any Y product,
Oh, wow.
whether it's a simple kitchen gadget or a complex piece of technology.
Okay. So we've talked about comparing products head to head
Right.
and seeing how real people use them in user trials.
Yeah.
But you're saying there's more to this detective work.
Oh, there's always more to uncover. Let's say you're buying a new laptop. You're probably drawn to sleek designs
Yeah.
and catchy marketing slogans.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on a second.
Okay.
Before you click Add to Cart, let's take a closer look at the specifications.
You've lost me a bit. Isn't that stuff just for tech experts?
Yeah.
I mean, I know the basics, screen size,
Yeah.
storage space,
Yeah.
but do I really need to understand processor speeds and RAM?
I get it. It can seem overwhelming.
Yeah.
But think of specifications as the blueprint of a product's capabilities. They tell you what's under the hood,
Okay.
how powerful the engine is.
Oh,
so to speak.
that analogy helps. So like a car with a bigger engine might be faster.
Right.
A laptop with a faster processor can handle more demanding tasks.
Exactly. Processor speed,
Yeah.
RAM,
Mhm.
graphics card.
Okay.
These specs all contribute to how smoothly your laptop runs,
Okay.
especially if you're doing things like video editing, gaming, or running complex software.
I see. So even if two laptops look similar and have the same screen size, their performance could be drastically different based on these internal specs.
Precisely. And it's not just about power. Specifications also reveal important details about features and functionality. Let's stick with the laptop example. Battery life is a big one, right?
Huge.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a laptop that dies after an hour of work.
Exactly. The specifications will tell you the expected battery life under different usage conditions.
Okay.
You'll also find details about the ports, connectivity options,
Okay.
and other features that can make or break your experience.
So before I buy that shiny new laptop, I should dig into the specs to see if it has enough ports for all my devices,
Yeah.
if it supports the latest Wi-Fi standard, and if the battery can actually last through a workday.
Exactly. It's about making sure the product aligns with your needs and expectations.
Right.
Don't just fall for the marketing hype.
Right.
Empower yourself with the knowledge hidden in those specs.
Okay. You've convinced me. Specifications are important,
Good.
but honestly, sometimes they feel like a foreign language.
Yeah,
Any tips for deciphering them?
absolutely. First, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're unsure about a specific spec, Google it, consult online forums, or even reach out to the manufacturer's customer support. There are tons of resources available to help you understand what those numbers and acronyms actually mean.
Good point. It's like having a secret decoder ring for the world of tech.
Exactly. And here's another tip.
Okay.
Look for reviews and comparisons that break down the specs in plain English. Many tech websites and YouTube channels do a great job of explaining what those specs mean in terms of real-world performance.
That's super helpful. I'm starting to realize that understanding specs isn't about becoming an engineer.
Right.
It's about being an informed consumer who knows what they're getting.
Exactly. Now ready to explore our final method for evaluating product designs.
You bet. What's next on our deep dive agenda?
Let's talk about the power of questionnaires. Now I know what you're thinking.
What am I thinking?
Surveys. Those things that pop up after every online purchase
Oh, yeah.
or clog up your inbox.
You read my mind. I've taken some truly terrible surveys in my life. Confusing
Right.
questions, irrelevant topics, you name it.
Oh, yeah.
It's enough to make you want to avoid them altogether.
Right. But here's the thing.
What's that?
A well-designed questionnaire can be a gold mine of valuable feedback.
Really?
It's like having a direct line to the minds of your target audience.
Okay, I'm intrigued. But how do we separate the good questionnaires from the bad? What makes them truly effective?
That's a great question. It all starts with the questions themselves.
Okay.
They need to be clear, concise, and focused on specific aspects of the product you're evaluating.
Okay.
Avoid jargon, double negatives,
Right.
and leading questions that push respondents towards a particular answer.
Makes sense. I've definitely seen surveys where the questions are so convoluted you have no idea what they're really asking.
Right, and that's a recipe for useless data.
Yeah.
Another key factor is targeting the right audience. If you're evaluating a gaming headset, you'd want to send your questionnaire to gamers, not grandmothers who knit.
Of course. You need feedback from people who are actually likely to use the product.
Yeah.
So let's say a company has designed a new fitness tracker.
Okay.
They could send a questionnaire to fitness enthusiasts,
Yeah.
asking about the features they value most,
Mm-hmm.
the accuracy of the data,
Right.
and the ease of use of the app.
Exactly. They could also ask about pain points.
Okay.
What frustrates users about existing fitness trackers?
Mm-hmm.
What features they wish existed? And what improvements they'd like to see?
It's like giving users a voice in the design process, allowing them to shape the product based on their real needs and experiences.
Exactly. And that's where the real power of questionnaires lies.
Yeah.
They can help companies identify areas for improvement, validate design decisions, and even spark new ideas for innovation.
I'm starting to see questionnaires in a whole new light. They're not just about collecting data.
Yeah.
They're about building a conversation with users and creating products that truly meet their needs.
Precisely. Now, let me share a real-world example of how a company used questionnaires to turn a product around. There was this popular e-reader that initially received mixed reviews.
Okay.
Users loved the large screen and the ease of reading, but many complained about the lack of backlighting and the limited battery life.
So they had a great product in theory,
Yeah,
but some key features were missing.
exactly. The company, to their credit, took this feedback to heart. They sent out a detailed questionnaire to users,
Okay.
asking specific questions about their reading habits, their preferences for lighting, and their expectations for battery life.
So they were actively seeking out the information they needed to make their product better.
They were, and the results were impressive.
Oh, wow.
Based on the feedback, they redesigned the e-reader, adding a built-in backlight and significantly improving the battery life.
Wow.
Sales soared, and the e-reader became one of the top-rated devices on the market.
Wow, that's a testament to the power of listening to your users. It shows that companies can really benefit from taking this feedback to heart.
Absolutely. It's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah,
Happier customers and more successful products.
that's awesome.
And it all started with a well-designed questionnaire.
This has been such an eye-opening discussion. I'm starting to feel like a pro at evaluating product designs. But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think these methods are only relevant for big companies?
Not at all. These methods are valuable for anyone who creates or uses products,
Oh, wow.
regardless of the scale. In fact, small businesses and startups can often benefit even more from these approaches because they have a closer relationship with their customers.
That makes sense. They could
Yeah.
be more agile and responsive to feedback.
Exactly. And even on a personal level, these methods can help you make more informed choices as a consumer.
Okay.
Whether you're buying a new phone, choosing a software subscription, or even selecting a restaurant, the principles of comparing,
Yeah.
testing, researching, and gathering feedback can lead to better decisions.
I love that. So we're not just talking about evaluating products. We're
Yeah.
talking about becoming more conscious consumers, more discerning in our choices, and ultimately more satisfied with the things we bring into our lives.
You got it. It's about empowering yourself to make choices that align with your values, needs, and aspirations.
I'm already feeling more confident and empowered as a consumer. But before we go, I have one final question for you. What's one piece of advice you would give to our listeners to help them become even better at evaluating products?
That's a great question. I would say don't be afraid to dig deeper. Don't just accept a product at face value. Question everything.
Okay.
Read reviews, compare features, look at the specifications, and imagine yourself using the product in your everyday life.
Right.
The more you engage with the product, the better equipped you'll be to make an informed decision.
I love that. Question everything.
Yeah.
It's all about being curious, being skeptical, and being an active participant in the world of product design.
Exactly. And that curiosity can lead to some amazing discoveries.
It can.
You might find a hidden gem of a product that you would have otherwise overlooked, or you might uncover a flaw that saves you from a major headache.
It's like we've unlocked a secret level of consumer awareness. We're not just buying products anymore, we're engaging with them on a deeper level.
And that's what makes this so fascinating. We're not just talking about evaluating products. We're talking about becoming more conscious consumers, more discerning in our choices, and ultimately more satisfied with the things we bring into our lives.
It's like we've graduated from Consumer 101 to advanced product analysis.
Yeah.
I'm feeling empowered and ready to tackle my next purchase with a whole new set of tools.
That's the spirit. Remember, these 4 methods are your secret weapons.
Okay.
Comparison to other products, user trials, diving into the specifications, and harnessing the power of questionnaires.
It's like having a consumer superpower. But before we go, I have to ask, are there any common pitfalls or mistakes people make when evaluating products?
Oh, there are a few traps to watch out for. One common mistake is relying solely on online reviews.
Okay.
While reviews can be helpful,
Right.
it's important to take them with a grain of salt. Remember, people tend to write reviews when they're either extremely happy or extremely unhappy with a product, so you're not always getting a balanced perspective.
That's a great point. I've definitely noticed that the most vocal reviews are often the most extreme ones. It's like the silent majority is missing from the conversation.
Exactly. So don't base your decision solely on reviews.
Okay.
Look at the overall trends, consider the source, and most importantly, do your own research using the methods we've discussed.
Okay, so don't just blindly trust the hive mind. What other pitfalls should we avoid?
Another common mistake is getting too caught up in the hype. It's easy to get swept away by flashy marketing campaigns and bold claims. But remember, marketing is designed to sell you something, not necessarily to give you an objective view.
So strip away the marketing gloss and focus on the facts, the features, the benefits, and how the product actually performs in the real world.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to be skeptical. Ask tough questions. Look for independent reviews and do your own comparisons. You're the one making the purchase, so you're in control.
I love that. It's about taking ownership of our choices as consumers and not just being passive recipients of whatever companies throw our way.
Precisely. Now, one last pitfall to watch out for, and this one's a bit subtle.
Okay.
Confirmation bias.
What's that?
We all have a tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've already decided you want a certain product,
Right.
you might unconsciously filter out any negative information.
Oh, I've totally done that. I get fixated on a specific feature or brand, and then I kind of ignore any red flags or drawbacks.
It's a natural human tendency. But when it comes to evaluating products, it's important to be aware of this bias.
Okay.
Try to actively seek out different perspectives. Consider opposing viewpoints, and be open to changing your mind if the evidence warrants it.
So it's like being a good scientist, challenging our assumptions,
Yeah.
looking for evidence, and being willing to revise our hypotheses.
Exactly. Now, armed with these insights and a healthy dose of skepticism, you're well on your way to becoming a true product evaluation master.
This has been an incredible deep dive. I feel like I've leveled up as a consumer. I'm going to approach my next purchase with a whole new level of awareness and confidence.
That's what we love to hear. Remember, these methods are not just for tech gadgets or big-ticket items. They can be applied to anything you buy, from groceries to clothes to even experiences.
You're right. It's a mindset shift, a way of thinking critically and making informed choices in every aspect of our lives.
And that's what makes this so empowering. You're not just a consumer anymore. You're a savvy decision maker, an informed advocate for products that truly meet your needs.
This has been such an insightful and engaging conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure. And remember, the next time you're facing a purchase decision, big or small, put these methods to the test. You might be surprised at how much more confident and satisfied you feel with your choices.
Absolutely. To all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of product design evaluation. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and happy shopping.